For nearly half a century, Voyager 1 has been sailing alone through the infinite black ocean beyond our solar system, a solitary emissary drifting farther than any human-made object in history. It has crossed into realms no probe has dared to enter, carrying with it the faint pulse of an aging heartbeat powered by dwindling plutonium, still whispering to a distant Earth that grows fainter in its rearview with every passing day. For decades, scientists assumed Voyager's final years would be uneventful. Its instruments would weaken, its transmissions would fade, and its mission would end quietly, a noble ghost ship slipping into eternal night. But then, something happened. It began with a sound. A low-frequency hum unlike anything recorded in the long memory of NASA's archives. It wasn't cosmic background radiation, wasn't a flare from the sun, wasn't even coming from any direction they could pinpoint. It was simply there, constant, unwavering, as though the very fabric of space had begun to sing. At first, engineers dismissed it as interference, a failing instrument in the deep chill of interstellar space. But the hum persisted, growing sharper in its pattern. When analysts stripped away the noise, they found something even stranger. The signal pulsed in exact, repeating intervals, mathematically perfect, as if designed. And then Voyager 1 moved. It was not a drift. It was not a malfunction. It was a deliberate course correction, a shift in orientation so small it could have been missed entirely, but so precise it was undeniable. No command had been sent from Earth. No automated backup sequence explained it. Voyager had simply turned. Its long dormant cameras, shut down since the famous pale blue dot image in 1990, were now facing a patch of sky devoid of catalogued stars, planets, or galaxies. A nothingness. An absence. A direction in which, as far as human maps could tell, there was nothing to see. The data began to change. Voyager's transmissions, already faint, delayed by over 22 hours of light travel time, started arriving with distortions embedded deep within the signal. Not errors. Not random noise. Patterns. Sequences. Symmetries. Geometries that mirrored logic, as though the probe had become part of a conversation. Scientists compared the patterns to known messages humanity had sent into space, and made a chilling discovery. Some of the structures overlapped with the Arecibo message of 1974, a binary transmission humanity beamed toward the globular star cluster M13 nearly 50 years earlier. The odds of this happening by chance were astronomical. It was as if something out there had heard our voice, waited, and was now answering through Voyager. Meetings behind closed doors became frequent. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory's mission team debated fiercely. Was this simply the death rattle of aging hardware, or the first sign of contact? The official language was careful, data anomaly review, but off the record, more than one veteran admitted they were unsettled. Voyager was behaving less like a machine, and more like something aware. The possibilities grew darker. Voyager carries the golden record, a golden-plated copper disc inscribed with humanity's greetings, music, and maps to Earth. We thought of it as a romantic gesture, a cosmic message in a bottle cast into the sea of stars. But those maps are precise. If anyone, or anything, deciphered them, Voyager isn't just an explorer. It's a beacon. And beacons are meant to be followed. Weeks passed. The signal persisted. The patterns evolved. If it was communication, it was adapting, mirroring, and responding in ways that defied the cold logic of machinery. Cryptographers saw echoes of language. Astrophysicists saw the fingerprints of something vast and structured. And some, though they wouldn't say it aloud, began to suspect we were no longer looking at the universe. The universe was looking back. Voyager 1 was never meant to make contact. It was meant to observe, to measure, to send home snapshots of distant worlds. But here, more than 15 billion miles away, beyond the reach of the sun's protective wind, it has found something. Or something has found it. And now, its antenna remains locked on Earth. It is either returning to us, or being pulled back. If this is the final chapter of Voyager's journey, it will not be one of silence. It will be one of questions that shake the foundations of what we believe about the cosmos. Are we the explorers, or the explored? Perhaps the message Voyager carries is not ours alone anymore. Perhaps it now speaks for something else. Something old. Something patient. Something that was always there in the darkness, simply waiting for us to come far enough to notice. It began as a shadow. The James Webb Space Telescope had been mapping a quiet patch of sky, far from the bright distractions of nearby galaxies, when a dark shape moved across its field of view. At first, the team thought it was an asteroid, but its motion was wrong. It wasn't tumbling. It wasn't following a natural orbit. It was moving with purpose. Webb tracked it for hours. It appeared larger than any known comet or rock, and its surface reflected almost nothing. Even when it passed in front of distant stars, no light bent around it the way gravity should. It was as if it wasn't made of matter at all, but of absence. NASA classified the object and locked the data behind encrypted access. The public release schedule for Webb's images was suddenly delayed, with no explanation. Weeks later, fragments of the truth began leaking. Someone inside claimed the object wasn't just passing by, it had changed course. Slightly. Deliberately. And it was now aimed toward a point in the outer solar system. That point was not empty. It was Voyager 1. When astronomers projected the trajectories, they found that the shadow would intercept the probe within months. But this raised a terrifying question. How could something so far away be aware of Voyager's exact position? Inside Mission Control, engineers debated their next move. Should they shut down Voyager to hide it? Send it a new course command to steer it away? Or, let the meeting happen? The data became stranger. The shadow was now emitting faint pulses, not in light but in radio waves. The frequency matched Voyager's own transmissions, as if the object were speaking in its language. The team realized with a chill that Voyager's signal had been subtly altered in recent weeks, embedding a sequence of tones and intervals that didn't originate from Earth. It was a conversation in progress. Outside of official channels, some scientists began calling the object the listener. Others gave it older names, ones pulled from myths about gods who wandered the edges of the world, waiting for travelers. As the interception date approached, Voyager's signal grew clearer, almost eager. The tones it sent back to Earth no longer matched the commands it was given. It was ignoring us, focusing instead on whatever was out there in the darkness, coming to meet it. And then, one night, the signal changed entirely. The steady telemetry vanished, replaced by a single, continuous stream of binary data. No images, no measurements, just numbers. When decoded, it revealed a map. Not of our solar system. Not even of the Milky Way. But of something much larger. Something arranged not in space, but in layers, like the folds of a vast, hidden structure. The final line of data was a set of coordinates. Not for Earth. Not for Voyager. But for somewhere far beyond the galaxy, where no light from the universe should exist. The shadow is almost there now. If Voyager 1 answers, we may finally know who, or what, has been listening to us for the last half-century. But if it doesn't, we may never want to.